going? So I got a new addition to my smart home today, and picked up a Wink relay. Actually got it for my birthday, so happy birthday to me. This will go well with the hub. We have 10 bulbs, and we have a couple of dimmer switches, a Nest, and a Nest cam. So we have a Nest thermostat and Nest cam. So this will be this will give the ability for the family to control the lights and do some other cool stuff, you know, from the wall, and not have to worry about having a smartphone on you. So, you know, that's one thing I really want to do, is give other people in the house the ability to control some of the settings and go to some, you know, do shortcuts from the wall, and not have to worry about, you know, pulling out your phone, always carrying your smartphone with you. So let's check it out. By the way, I got this at Home Depot. I think the regular price, at least the sticker price, was $199. However, I went in there yesterday. The guy said it was $159, but when I rang it up at $139. So I don't know if that's how it is everywhere, but we paid $139 for this. All right, so let's go over the top of the box here real quick. We've got. Let's see, it's got two smart switches on the front, so these will turn whatever device you plug that's taken over the wall outlet. This will actually turn those devices into two smart switches. That's pretty cool. It's got a microphone and speaker, so I don't know how that's being used. I've heard it wasn't actually being used yet, but we will check it out. I'll do another review after it's installed on the wall. And of course, it's got the touchscreen panel. It kind of gives you all the same features that your phone will give you on the app, and it's got temperature sensors. So it's got humidity and temp sensors built into it as well. And it's also got a motion sensor so that it wakes it up. All right, so on the side here, what does it say? It says it comes with the Wink app ready. That's obviously, right? And the contents of the box looks like it's got the relay itself, the in-wall module. And yeah, let's check it out. Okay, so we got a instruction manual here. It actually looks like in this installation. I'm sure you have to install it with a common wire. Yep, turn off the breaker, install the common wire. It's pretty straightforward. We'll see how that goes. All right, nice little foam squishy case here. Little protector, screen cover. All right, there it is. All right, well, picking it up, it feels pretty light, you know. It doesn't feel cheap by any means. It's got that nice kind of Apple feel to it. Buttons are nice and big, obviously easy to do, easy to push in. Yeah, so not much to it. It's just a lot lighter than I expected. I thought, you know, it'd have a little bit of weight to it, but it's pretty simple. And then inside here we've got a box, looks like. Actually, what is this here? That's the user guide. Look at that fancy little tiny box, man. What's in this guy? Ah, a baby manual, literally. Sweet. User guide. All right. Installation again. In case the other sheet was just a little bit too big. That's cool. Okay, there's your common, hot. Yep. Grounded wire. Testing the lights. Getting it set up, and then yeah, so underneath this, these are nice foam protectors, man. It's a nice case, nice box. Look at that, look at that. I love things that come with a screwdriver. The Nest came in one too, and it was really cool. This is slick, pretty solid. Okay, so it comes with a screwdriver. That's cool. Ah, yes. There's a special name for these plugs, but these are great. Yeah, these are nice. Okay, good deal. So it comes with that, so you can tie into your existing wiring. Oh, actually the junction box comes with, oh, nice. Man, these are helpful. Much better than the twisty ones. So, look at that. Looks like it's nicely labeled here, lined. Cool, good deal. Got a little bag in here. Look, what is this? It's like screws. Yep. Okay, that's screws for these right here. I'm not sure what this is. What is this? Is this a wire stripper? Oh, be dang. Man, for $139, it comes with a screwdriver and wire cutter, wire strippers. Look at that. Huh. Was not expecting to see that in here. That's pretty slick. Cool. And these are the, looks like the, the plates that you add on to fill in the gaps. So I've got a perfect spot in the house for this, and cool. Let's get to installing it. Here is the one and only lovely looking Wink relay installed on the wall and ready to go. Just to let you guys know, the install went fairly well. I installed it yesterday. It did have a little bit of issues. I had some issues with the wall behind it, more or less, and the relay box being crooked. So I wanted to correct that and had to do some things behind the wall to make it look level. Because it is such a large outside panel, this is going over a 2-gang box, and because it's the size, if it's any kind of, if it's off kilter a little bit, it's very noticeable, especially when it looks like an art piece on your wall. You want it to be level. So that's most of the issues I had installing it. Otherwise, it went fairly well. One thing to notice is whenever you're tightening the junction box, don't over tighten one or two screws. You can actually bow it and cause the sensors to not touch correctly. I mean, this is really true for anything. This is true for the Nest thermostat as well. It has a similar type junction box you install on the back, and then the relay clicks on top of it, and the contacts makes contact with the units and turns itself on. So as you see, it just turned itself off. I've been having some issues with this. There is a proximity sensor on top here that is working now, and if you wave your hand over it, it gives you the time and it gives you the weather and location. It does not give you the date. It'd be kind of cool. They just went ahead and threw in the date here. I mean, they might as well. But that is what wakes up the device. That is what you see. So, and just in case you don't know, this took over a 2-gang box. It can take over 1 gang. It's got spacers on each side of the back here, which kind of supports it against the wall. And it turns whatever this takes over into smart switches. So let's be honest, I got this for $139 at Home Depot. And that's a pretty good deal considering you get a tablet on the wall and 2 smart switches. So this was on sale at Home Depot for $139, and it's worth checking out. I got it for a birthday present, so this obviously was a great present, and I appreciate it. Thank you. And this device it's great looking. So I wanted it mainly because I wanted to give my family control of the shortcuts I've created, and that is all this thing does. So let's be honest, this thing touts, it's got a microphone, it's got a speaker, it has all these basically technologies built into it, allows it to do a lot of stuff, but they're completely untapped at this moment. Wink does not allow any access to the microphone or speaker. There's no functionality in it. In fact, when I got it home, after reading through the manual, it also has a proximity Bluetooth sensor. So based on the device and who's near it or who's in the proximity of it, you can have it do certain things. That currently does not work. It'd be so cool if it did, because that is a feature that I think most people would find useful. So let's kind of go over it. So like I said, it is just a relay. All this is doing is basically giving you access to your shortcuts on a wall panel, and it looks pretty. So a lot of people are turned off by the fact that it doesn't have much more function other than that. You cannot set up groups of lights. You cannot set up shortcuts or robots through this itself. You must do that from the app, and then it displays back here. But that being said, it's very cool. I love this thing. It feels good. By the way, once you touch it, it does wake it up. The screen is glass, and I would say it kind of feels like it may be a Gen 1 or 2 iOS device. So the clarity, I don't know if you can tell from the camera, is very crisp. It's the contrast isn't too great. At night you can kind of see the black has a glow to it, so it's not a pure black. But the quality of the screen is pretty good for what you pay for, and you can tell it has no problem with my movements. So let's just go ahead and show off the functions of this. I'm going to go ahead and dim down the camera a little bit here so you can see the icons better. Okay, so like I said, once you wake the relay up, you get your little Wink logo. That's cool. You get your time. You get the location with the temperature. And it says clear, so if it's raining, I'm guessing it's going to say raining, or if it's cold and snowing, it's going to say snow. Not really sure where this is getting the information, but that temperature is a little bit off. My Nest currently is showing 56, and I've got an outside temperature showing 56 as well. So this is off currently. I may try to switch locations to a different city, local near us, and try to get it more accurate. So anyways, the shortcuts come up, and all your shortcuts here are available through a left and right swipe. You can hold and reorder these shortcuts, which I think is cool. But another bug I found was I reordered them last night, and this morning came to find out that they were all jumbled and not in order anymore. So I don't know if it rebooted. I don't know if that's going to continue to be a problem. This is my second day with it, so we'll see how that goes. So you have left and right swipe of the shortcuts, and then you also have up, down swipe. Swiping up gives you your history. So this is going to show you everything that your hub and home system here has been doing. It's kind of cool. I mean, it gives you an idea of what happened throughout the night, what turned on, what turned off, if there's motion detected, etc. So it gives you a quick list of what happened. I like having that. It's handy. If you swipe down, you get your list of devices. So this is kind of cool. So if you do want to have some more individual control here, you can. So other than just shortcuts, you can actually go into your lights, control manually each one of the lights. We have 10 lights. And we got most of our lights in groups. So all of our lamps are in the lamps. The kitchen lights are in a group. The bed lamps are in a group. The outdoor lights are in a group. Or I can just turn them all off. See, so that works. So everything works good there. And if you swipe over, it shows you this. So let's kind of go through this. I do have a camera. If you click on the hub, there's no configuration ability here. You could just click on the hub and show you what's connected. So it just kind of shows you what device you have connected. Of course, the lights I just showed you. The relay itself is going to show you what's hooked up to your two smart switches here. So these are not dimmers. They are just simply on and off, and they control what took over this gang box. So entry light on, works great. Ceiling fan on, works great. Ceiling fan is spinning, but it's cold in here, so let's turn it off. And we swipe over, and it's going to give us our sensors and thermostats. So even though my Nest is about 15 feet away from here, it does give the option to control your thermostat. This would be great if you had this in your master bedroom, or even if you had it upstairs. You had two of them. So, it does give you your Nest control here, which is cool. And sensors. So sensors, it's going to actually pull a temperature and humidity sensor from the relay itself. So this thing has Wi-Fi, Zigbee, Z-Wave, it's got Bluetooth, and it's got temperature, humidity sensor, and it's got a proximity sensor as well. So the thing's kind of loaded up with sensors, which is cool. So it does give you an average temperature, and it's basing that average temperature in the house off what the relay is telling me it is and off what the Nest thermostat is telling us it is. And humidity is being 72%. That's a little high. I'm not sure if that's correct or not. And it shows me sound detection and motion detection 42 minutes ago and 32 minutes ago. Okay, so that's my devices. And honestly, that is really it. I'll go through the settings, but this is it. I mean, this is 90% of the time you're going to want access to this. You're just going to be able to walk up to it, find what you want to do. My shortcuts I've got for kitchen on, kitchen off, lamps on, lamps off. That's all the lamps in the house. All lights on 100%. I could turn on my garage lights. I could dim them to 45%. I could dim the whole house to 22%, which is automatically happening with a schedule right now at 9 o'clock. Movie time is a setting I've got that kind of shuts off the lights in the living room, dims it down, puts all the lights at a really, really low setting so you can still get around the house, but perfect for laying in the living room watching movies. And then I got a personal setting here for cooking. As I say, I like to cook inside the kitchen, and I like to spend time jamming music, so I got a setting just for me. Kind of turns off some lamps down, but makes sure the kitchen is bright. And I got a good night setting. So this good night setting will shut all the lights off, and eventually, once I get door locks, we'll lock the doors. So there are my shortcuts. Let's go ahead and go to the settings. Now, you're real kind of limited here. You don't have a whole lot of options. There could be a lot more stuff they could put in here, But what you do get is time and temperature settings. So you're going to adjust, the 24 12-hour time display. I could adjust the temperature units from Fahrenheit to Celsius and the location. Wi-Fi settings are in here, so if you ever change your Wi-Fi, or change your password, you can go through here and set it up. General settings is going to give you a little bit of information about the device. It's going to give you the name of the relay, software version, firmware IP address, MAC address, Bluetooth MAC address, and terms and conditions. And then software update. I can actually do a software update manually here, which is cool. A lock mode. This is actually allow you to lock it and actually set up a pin. So you have to put in a pin to unlock it. This would be helpful if you had teenagers or kids that were constantly trying to jack with it and mess with the house. So if you don't want them to mess with it, you set up a pin. But to me, it's just a turn off for my family to use it. It's just one more thing they have to fumble through to actually use it. I want this to be open and in essential locations so people can actually get used to using it. And then you have your account information. Then we go back. The only other setting we have is screen wake up. You can actually change it from proximity to on tap. I've changed it back and forth to try to get rid of the issue I had with the proximity not working and the screen staying on. But so far, I want the proximity to work, so that's what I've got it set to. Hit done. And there you have it. So you got a smart device on your wall for $135. Looks a little bit nicer than hanging a tablet on your wall, I guess. But like I said, the features are lacking. This thing is really loaded up with some features that are untapped, and the software is not taking any advantage of it. So I really wish Wink would hurry up and get an update for it. In fact, the outside of the box even said microphone and speaker. So they're kind of displaying or advertising the fact that it's got the capabilities of being used as an intercom or some sort of a sound device on the outside front of the box, and there is absolutely no functionality whatsoever within the relay at this current moment to use any of that stuff.